Kwani wapi nilikosea? Kwani wapi nilipotea? Nikaachwa mata anaye nizuzua, anaye nizuzua, anaye nizuzua, amenitoroka, ameniacha, oi oi.
It's a song of sorrow. All he sees in his life is partially clear. One among the many of the students living with disabilities at Mount Kenya University. As the need for higher education increases in Kenya and the competition from upcoming private institutions becomes stiff, just how does Mount Kenya University places itself when it comes to adaptability and accessibility by people living with disability?
If there is a group that I think is resilient in Mount Kenya University, it is you people. Because you know, when we talk, sometimes it's easy for us to make this statement of disability is not inability if you are not wearing that shoe. Sometimes it is easy. But when you are wearing the shoe, it really speaks a lot. And I really want to appreciate that you people, you have been very resilient in your studies. I think one of the things that gives me joy is when I am graduating students and I see, you know, along with the students who are enabled differently, right there, cheering with everybody else. That gives me a lot of joy because I know that student has had to put more than the rest of the thousands that are sitting behind them. And that is why you see, during graduation, we will always give you the first row. If you've never attended that, at least let me tell you, when you graduate, we always make sure that you are in the first row because we do recognize the efforts that you have done. And the efforts mean that you did not get any extra attention because of your condition. You were subjected to the same conditions that any other student was subjected to, and you emerged a victor. You know, when you are a minority, sometimes you might suffer from that kind of emotional suppression. But I want to encourage you that never think of yourself less than everybody else that you do, because God has given you your own abilities and you are able to actually be able to use those abilities to become the best that you can be. And I really want to appreciate the dean, the deputy dean, and the principal for the efforts that you have done in really coordinating this group and making them feel as part of us. And that is actually, or rather the testimony of that is that every year we are getting more students enabled differently, because I believe that you have gone out there and you have told them that the best institution where your needs will be taken care of is Mount Kenya University.
There is a lot of inclusivity when it comes to the student council, when it comes even to support the students who are able differently. We have been actually focusing much, especially this year, to see how we can improve the equipments, number one, how we can improve on their classworks, how we can improve on their welfare. So for us, the student leadership and even the university as a whole, we have been trying as much as possible to ensure there is inclusivity. And yes, we have done a lot by far. We are even far much ahead when it comes to bringing all these people together, right from the start, admissions, where we have to place them in their own groups so that when we are addressing their challenges, we address based on whatever they are facing as individuals. Then when it comes to our university, we'll have addressed all the issues, all of them, regardless of the ability that they are facing or disability that they are facing. So based on what they are in need of, the main campus, we are done far much ahead, and we are still improving much. That is why we are doing benchmarking with other universities, with other institutions who are offering the courses related to those people who are able differently, so that at least we can see how we can improve much and much. We are trying to involve them, to include them, and even in classworks and everything, even in leadership, so that they can feel part and parcel and feel that sense of belonging as the leader, as the students of Mount Kenya University.
So my disability is physical disability, that is my left leg. I use the artificial foot. So it was the moment I asked my mother, she tells me that I was born with a problem on my left leg. So it started to, ilikuwa kaa kidonda hivi tuseme. So it was spreading. So the doctors came with a decision of just to amputate, so to avoid affecting the rest of the body. So I was 3 months old, I think so. Yeah. So I've grown up knowing myself like I'm that. So we came here in 2022. Yeah. So the environment itself is very much okay. It is very inclusive. So for me it was easy to adapt. So far we have like accessibility. It is there. We have the lift. When it comes to be difficult for me to access the stairs, so sometimes I use the lift. But for exercise, I use the stairs sometimes. So, but it has been nice being in MKU.
Let's celebrate her with a piece of cake.
I really want to appreciate that because at least if you don't believe in whatever happens here, then you are the one who could be telling the others, please. Unajua ile tunasema hiyo ni moto ya kuotea bali. At least I can say that Mount Kenya, we have been able to put some effort. I am not saying that we have reached to where we want to be, but we are making every effort. And I want to speak to something that the Dean has mentioned. I know we have been having a bit of an issue, sometimes in maybe academics, especially those people who use Braille. Sometimes there is a delay in your in your exams because of maybe the process of Braille, the Braille, you know, all that stuff that John and his team do. But what I want to give a commitment from myself as the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and Research Affairs, is that your needs are a priority to us in the division. And I think the Dean can bear witness that whenever we hear that there is an issue with the academic issues of this group, we will take it and be able to run with it. Because I don't want any time for you to ever sit down and feel they are doing this because I am this. I think that would be the worst surface that I would ever give you.
Yeah, I've been visually impaired since birth till now. When I joined university, there were various things that we, the people living with visual impairment, were lacking. But since MKU believes in inclusivity, we've been able to have a lot in terms or regarding people with visual impairment, including the braille devices, white canes, and so on.
Of course, some of those delays may be expected because of sometimes the process that we have to go. But at least one thing that I can assure you is that we are conscious. Recently, actually we did a loud of just checking institutions that are hindering okay, you know, the special groups, like schools for the blind, the deaf. So we had a bit of a benchmarking just to see what are the other services that we can be able to give you. And I know one of the things that we are really working with the management is to ensure, especially the braille services. I know we have been having a bit of a challenge, part of it because it is shared with people who train for that, and then for the people who use. I know there we are still working or a bit not very well. Of course, I know also the group that requires the sign language interpreters. We have done something, but we have not done enough. But what I can assure you is that as we consider this, we are going to increase the services. And one thing that as management we do is that we believe in inclusivity, and we are going to work the best that we can do to be able to ensure that you people, you are comfortable and you are able to carry on your studies and also carry on your life after this in a comfortable manner. So where there are shortcomings, I always tell students, please feel free to use the right channels just to bring them on board. And I believe that is why we have the association. That is why we also have your leadership represented in other students' leadership groups, so that you can be able to voice your issues, and whenever they get to our offices, then we are able to take the action that we require.
We have trained our students on how to engage with other persons that they don't have disability, because we are looking at a point whereby we need to ensure that the Mount Kenya University community is one that is so accommodating. We need to ensure that every person appreciates their physical status of well-being. This one means that our students, looking at our students' disability, we have to encourage them mingle, interact with the other students that don't have disability, as well as encourage the other regular students to continue supporting these students. Let them not support them from sympathy aspect, but let them support them from the empathy aspect. That way, I mean, like every one of us will need to appreciate who we are and how we can help each other. We can support every other person from every other environment.
And I think that is what the spirit of Mount Kenya is. We recognize your disability, but to help you to exploit your potential to the fullest.